wager in. You guys, some engineers? How many engineers? Just curious. Just wondering if you're in here. Classical people? Just engineers? None of you? That's it? Nobody else has a major? Wait,
what? Oh, I thought this was Spanish.
Okay. What else?
Oh, wait.
So engineers, what else we got?
Music ed.
Music ed? Okay.
Ed and jazz performance.
Okay. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm just curious what you guys are up to. Let's go a little bit slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. Everybody's kind of in a little bubble. You know, I feel like there's sort of a rhythm section bubble. The trombones and the trumpets are kind of in the same place. Saxophones feel like you're in a different space than the brass. So let's do it again. It's not a really hard song, right? It's pretty straightforward. It's 8 notes, nothing too tough. Saxophones, and this is still for me, I still work on this all the time, which is listening backwards. Listening back to the trumpets. You know, find the trumpets. Pick them out in the crowd. Find the bass. You know, I felt like the bass and the drums, I felt like you guys were both playing the same thing, but I just didn't feel like you were together. I didn't feel like you were in the same game, like you weren't giving us the same rhythm section. All right? So think about, and trumpets, this is the hard part, I think, especially for trumpets, is you have to sort of give a little bit and try and listen up to the saxophones. All right? So there's all these relationships when you're playing in a good band. Like the relationship, it's like a whole bunch of spider webs, and you're trying to connect with everybody at different times for different things. The cool part about the inner voices is that, like when I'm playing second tenor, all of a sudden I'm playing in the trombone section, you know, and I got to find that person, and then I have to jump over to the guitar part, you know, or if I'm playing baritone, I have to. Sometimes I'm with the bass, and then sometimes you're just like a fifth above it, right? So think about all those different relationships, and where does your part work in the big game? Things. How does the saxophone section blend together? I feel like you guys could kind of focus in to get like one sound a little bit more. Okay. Same thing. Top. Yeah.
You don't have another
trumpet
up there. Up there. There's no subway in these things.
Oh, here we go. I got some more parts for you. What do you need? Trumpet 2?
Yeah.
Get trumpet. We got 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Thanks.
And at the end of the day, that's like, you know, the stuff that makes people a good band isn't always the best players in the room or the best. You never get to play with the perfect band that you're going to always dream of. I've never had that gig, you know, where I got to play with everybody in the world I wanted to. And even if I did, it wouldn't be as great as I hoped. The gig is always being with the people you're with right now. And it's always about that. It's always about being the best team you can be. All right? So just think about being aware of what's going on around you. Let's try one more time from the top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. It sounded like a different group already. I'm sorry to stop, but there was a big difference in the fact that all of a sudden the three of you guys were in a single line, playing that line together. You know, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Alright, now, unisons, right? Here's the situation that usually goes down. I'm in tune, the other guy's not in tune, right? He should come to me. In a big band especially, saxophones have to go back. You know, the trumpets are rarely going to be able to tune up to you. It's almost, because you're in the front and all the sound is coming out here, it's almost always our job to get back and tune back. And usually if you're playing with a trumpet, the trumpet's playing the lead line, right? And I don't know if, you know, I was talking about this, but you know, you have your lead players that go kind of right down the middle of the group. But the sections also kind of go back to the trumpet sections. You have to hope that that lead player is in tune. And even if he's out of tune, it doesn't matter. You have to be where he's going to be out of tune. And from there, the sort of hierarchy works, right? Everybody tunes into the lead player. You also tune down to the baritone or the bass, sort of depending on the lines. But there has to be that, you know, and if you're playing second alto, that's sometimes the hardest part. If you guys, I don't know if you guys are taking turns or who's, you know, alternating, but playing second alto is sometimes harder because you have to get right into what somebody else is doing. And the same with second tenor. You know, you have to sound like, you have to match up to the second alto and the tenor and everybody. So you're constantly swinging around from part to part. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah, hold on, right on that. Is that C sharp? Your D. D on alto and tenor is always going to be high. So I know that if I have a D, I'm always going to give somebody else the benefit of the doubt that I'm probably sharp. So I'm going to get down on that D. So it's always, you know, between 10 and 15 cents sharp. I never trust my D. Assume that you're going to be too high. One more time. You guys hear a difference? I felt the difference. Even like rhythm section felt better. You know,